Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what bottle are we popping today?
Today we are going to pop open a bottle of one of the kids blend oils. It is Brave, and it is considered the Courage blend. And smelling it right now, I love the smell. I feel like it's inviting. I first smell the wild orange and osmanthus. What do you get out of it?
It definitely makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
Smelling it, and it smells kind of like a creamsicle. So like
I hear that. I smell that.
And the sweetness, which the sweetness would be the osmanthus, like you said. But yeah, it's a really, really good smelling oil. And the unique thing with the kids' oils is all of them are pretty simple. So they're all only 4 oils that are blended together. So it's more simplified than most of the other blends. But man, they pick good oils to blend in these. And I'm sure that's partially because kids want to smell good.
Yeah. Yes. And wild orange is one of my kids' favorites. So this is an easy one for them. And so the 4 oils that are in this one are wild orange, amyris, osmanthus, and cinnamon. I don't smell the cinnamon much at all. Usually I feel like that's a pretty dominant oil for me to smell. I don't smell that. And these are all blended with the fractionated coconut oil as well. They're all these kids' oils are in the 10 milliliter roll-ons. They have slowly introduced or teased us with little 5 mLs of the strict oil. But right now we just have the roll-ons as the primary use.
Yeah, which is awesome, especially for kids. In fact, they even have these cute little carabiner attachments that you can put on it so a kid could attach it to their, backpack or something like that. And they're totally safe for kids to use, even for the most part, even unsupervised. Like I think of one of my grandnieces, I guess my only grandniece. So my grandniece loves oils in general, but every time we give her a different kid's oil, she gets all excited. And especially when she was really young, I remember one Christmas where we gave her oil and she walked around the family and just kept on applying oil to everybody. Like she probably used half a bottle. It was so cute and she was so excited about it. But yeah, she really, really loves these. And I love the fact that it's something safe she can use. And because it's a roll on, it's pretty hard to overdose on this.
Agreed. And, a fractionated coconut oil is the first ingredient. Right. So that is the primary oil in this. Yes. And so they're well diluted. And also if you buy the kids kit all together, it comes with these little cards and it comes with those carabiners. It comes with this beautiful bag that I use for all kinds of other things. And then it comes with these little cards that have, let's see, it's a heart, a mind, and I think maybe hands. And it stands for 3 different things of the kind of the category the oil falls into. So kids that can't read yet are able to identify the oil that they want to choose based on the symbol on the card and the color of the bottle, which I think is really cool too. So it makes it really easy for kids to have a little bit of autonomy and independence when they're picking out the oil that they think that they need to use at that moment. But let's be honest, these aren't just for kids. So I know that you use this oil too. Tell me how you're using it.
Well, I literally use it to feel brave.
Okay.
Which sounds crazy because that's the name. But yeah, I do occasionally just use it because it smells good and I use it as a personal perfume. But it really is helpful for situations where you feel like maybe a little bit of self-doubt. You feel like you need a little added support and courage. So definitely as a business owner, I go through times like that, with networking events or just awkward situations with clients, and using an oil like this puts me in the mindset of oh, I am good enough. I can stand up and speak for what I believe in, or I can show that I really am an expert in this field. And it just gives you that added boost, which is really lovely to have a tool like this for that.
Yeah. And I like what you just said too about those positive thoughts, both on doTERRA's website and in the reference book that we were looking at prior to the podcast, talks about combining this oil with positive affirmations and or positive thoughts. And I think that there's so much to that of just getting you in the right mindset before you do something that makes you nervous or scared. I know before I even learned about oils, my son got a little bit nervous when it came to his preschool graduation, and he did not want to go up and be on stage with these parents, all these parents looking at him. So we went outside and we spent several minutes talking about how to stand in power poses. And so we got into our superhero poses and tried to think brave thoughts and all this kind of stuff, because there is a lot to just getting in that mindset. Right. And I wish we would have had this oil at the time to pair with that. Again, my kids love the scent of wild orange. And so I think this is one that they very easily will take and, inhale or roll on if I ask them to, just because they love the scent. But then also if we can get into that mindset of thinking positive, which my daughter is very into the no negative self-talk right now. She keeps reminding me of that.
I love that.
So we've actually used this one recently because we have a new puppy, and they were so excited to get this new puppy. Puppies have sharp little teeth and sharp little nails, and so they want to play with the puppy, but then they get nervous when, he starts jumping at the toy that they're using, and so then they get nervous and don't want to play with them. So we've been working on being brave when we're playing with the puppy so that the puppy knows that, they are in charge. So we've been using our Brave oil and then putting into our minds that they are the ones in charge. The puppy is not trying to hurt them on purpose. And they have done really well with now playing with the puppy and feeling a little bit more confident with that.
That's so good. So good. Yeah. And I love the pairing affirmations with this oil. I think all of us can improve by being a little bit more intentional in our day-to-day lives, and having a tool like an oil to remind you to be intentional, and to show up the way you want to show up, whether it's brave or maybe it's some of the other emotional oils, is really awesome.
Well, and let's remind people too that oils work through the olfactory system. So once you've inhaled a certain scent and it goes through the brain, your brain produces emotions based on that scent. Once you have positive experiences with a certain scent, that scent will bring forward those emotions. And so I think something like wild orange makes people feel light and bright. I feel like it's a cheerful smell to begin with, whether it's a fresh orange off of a tree or orange essential oil. And so when people are like, okay, well, how does this work with changing your mindset? That's exactly how it works. You have these oils that bring forward positive emotions. And when you inhale them, now your body is able to kind of shift gears into those positive emotions. And when you're pairing it with also those affirmations, it's very easy to kind of transition from wherever you were before to this positive place.
Yeah. I'm so glad you went over that, because I'm sure people will listen to this and wonder about how that part works. So thank you for explaining the science behind it a little bit. Definitely helpful. Well, anything else you want to share about this oil?
No, I think this is a fun oil, and don't be deterred by the fact that it's in the kids line. I think that this is a good oil for anyone to have.
Totally agree. We all need a little bit more bravery and self-assurance in our life. So
Agreed.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. Please let us know what you thought about today's episode. We also would love if you would subscribe and give us feedback, like our podcast on whatever device you're listening on. And thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your week to listen to us.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.